In this lecture, we'll rig up a particle system to act as our ship's laser. There's a couple different ways that we could go about setting up a laser system. You could do something like prefab a laser game object and instantiate it every single time your player ship wants to shoot. We're going to do it in this section using a particle system and then attaching colliders to each individual particle. With our player rig open and our player ship selected, let's just go ahead and right-click and create a particle system. I believe that's under Effects and Particle System. And we can go ahead and call that Laser. Just make sure your player ship is your parent to your laser particle system game object. And voila, we can see our particle system come to life. I'm going to go ahead and give myself a little bit more space just so we can have a little bit more visibility on what we're doing with our particle system component. Our particle system component is filled up with a bunch of different modules, and inside each individual module has different properties that we can modify to get the effect we're looking for. Let's start to modify these to get the effect we're looking for, where it's firing each individual laser one after another, but in pretty quick succession. Let's open up shape and modify that first. You can see it's scattering each individual particle out in a couple different ways. Let's just go ahead and shrink that all the way down to 0 to have a nice straight line. You can see a little bit of noise in each individual particle. It's not completely straight yet. Well, that's just because our radius is still set to 1. So if we shrink that all the way down to 0 or very close to 0, nice, we've got a nice straight line. Now you can barely see each individual particle. So if you open up this laser at the very top, you can actually start to modify our start size just so we can see things a little bit better. Let's just start that off at 3. Now going from top to bottom, the duration doesn't really matter. We're actually just going to be looping this and then turning off and on the entire system with our input. So let's just change it to something like 1 because it's a nice round number. We'll keep looping checked. The start lifetime is just how long each individual particle lasts in our scene. So each particle is starting right here at the start point, and then it's lasting exactly that long, or 5 seconds to get to this point, and then it's being destroyed. If you were to change our start speed, however, to something like, let's just say 300 for now, you can see each individual one going off into the distance. It's still lasting 5 seconds. It's just ending way off in some point into the distance. I think the next thing I'd like to change is the visual look of each particle based on our renderer. Right now we have this pretty transparent sort of particle looking thing, the default particle system that just comes with a particle system. And all the way down here, you have this renderer module where we can attach a specific material to each individual particle. Right now it's just using this out-of-the-box particles unlit particle, but let's go ahead and create our own. In this lecture, attached to the Resources tab, you should see a new folder that you can go ahead and download and unzip called GDTV, just standing for Game Dev TV, Particle Sprites. This is just 3 different PNG images that we can make our own materials with. So I've just got mine off on another monitor. I'm just going to go ahead and drag that directly into my imported assets folder. Now, you don't need to do this next part, but I'm going to separate my assets in between Game Dev TV assets and then third-party assets. The only reason I'm doing that is we're committing all of these lectures to an online repo on GitLab. I just want to make sure that I'm not accidentally redistributing assets that I don't have permission to do so. So this part's completely optional. You don't really have to do this if you don't like to. I'm going to have a GDTV assets folder, and I'm going to drag my particles and my ships directly into that folder. I'm going to create another folder called third-party assets that I'm just going to drag everything else in there. It's just making sure that when you clone or use the repo in any way, you're not accidentally getting assets that I am not permitted to redistribute. So I'm just going to drag my terrain samples into my third-party assets. Let's open up our GDTV assets and our particle sprites, where you can see you just have these really 3 super simple PNG images. We can use these images to create a material and attach that to our particle. Let's just do that directly in this folder for now. You can right-click directly anywhere in this folder, create, and somewhere in here you'll have a material option. With that selected, let's just call it laser for now. Up here in the top right, you're going to want to change this shader. Click the drop down to Universal Render Pipeline. If you go directly into particles, it's not going to work. Universal Render Pipeline, Particles, and Unlit. That's just going to make sure it's not affected by outside light sources. It's a laser. I kind of just wanted to glow in the dark if we ever had a dark, for example. Scrolling that down to give us a little bit more room, and you can actually drag your base map PNG image directly into this base map field. So let's just start with the round one for now. You can just drag that directly into this little box. And before we go any further, let's actually just attach this material to our laser renderer material. So again, all the way down in our laser particle system, all the way down to renderer, and then I'm just going to drag this material we just created directly into this materials property. Now, it's square. Why is that? Well, if you click this material, we just have to change the surface type from opaque to transparent, and voila, we've got a nice, cool little circle. And another thing that you can very quickly do, just to make sure it's kind of glowing in the dark and taking advantage of our global processing bloom, don't worry, we'll get into that a little bit more in detail a little bit later on. For now, you can just toggle on this emission property and go ahead and click the emission map color. Change this to something like, let's just do the same color as this blue coming from the spaceship. I'll click my eyedropper tool, change that to the blue, and then just ramp up the intensity just a little bit to get sort of a laser glowing effect. We'll come back to post-processing a little bit later on in this section. Before we head back into our particle system, you could change this base map to say something like a star-looking thing if you'd like, or a square if you'd like. But for now, I'm just going to leave it as this particle round circle. Heading back into our laser particle system, let's continue to modify a few more properties, but I think this is already off to a pretty good start. Let's just get this firing from the very front of our ship. So F2 focus. I'm just going to drag this along the blue axis, raise it up just a tad so it's kind of in the front of our spaceship. Right around there for now looks pretty good. I'm not going to do it all the way at the tippy top, not only just for visual effect, but I want to make sure that when we start turning collision on each individual particle, it's not accidentally colliding with our ship that's moving throughout the scene. So I think about there looks fine for now. Now that looks like it's firing way too fast. Let's just go into emission and change this from something like 10 to 5, just so we're not shooting out lasers quite as often. Now, we're not done, but let's just go ahead and hit play for now just to see what that looks like in our game view. There you go. We've got a laser firing from the front of our spaceship. However, you can see it's operating a little bit differently. You would expect each individual laser to just kind of go off into the distance. So we can change that by going into our particle system. And somewhere along here, we can change something to world space. There we go, simulation space. Right now it's being set to local, which means each individual particle is going to stay parented to the same parent game object. But if we change simulation space to world space and hit play, now we should see that each individual laser is just doing its own thing, even as our spaceship is twisting and turning throughout our scene. Great. Let's go ahead and modify a few more options. At the moment, our laser, if we just go ahead and hit play again, is just a ball. I think that looks fine. I think aesthetically that would be a pretty good choice. But I'm going to go ahead and turn on another module called trails. With that toggled on, you'll immediately see this ugly purple, and that just means we don't have a material attached to our laser. You could even use this exact same laser material. There you go, looking pretty good. I actually think that looks pretty nifty. I wonder what that looks like in our game view. Yeah, it's kind of like a death beam of sorts. I actually really like that effect. Maybe it could be like a power-up of some kind. But for now, I kind of want each individual laser just to have a little bit more of like a rectangly oval effect instead of an exact sphere. The reason it looks like a 3D ball, even though we're using a 2D PNG image, is because this render mode is set to billboard, which means it's just going to always be facing the camera. If you were to change this to something like horizontal billboard, it's going to be always facing up. Vertical billboard, the other direction, I think the other axis, so it's going to start looking a little bit lopsided. For now, let's just have it always facing the camera to give that sort of illusion that it's a 3D laser flying through the scene. Smoke and mirrors, baby, smoke and mirrors. Let's toggle back on our trails, and it looks like our trail is just lasting way too long. Let's try something like 0.1, see what that looks like. Still a bit too long. Maybe 0.01, and there you go. Yeah, we've kind of got that laser effect I was looking for, where it's kind of trailing behind the head of our particle. Now, I just want it to be one simple laser. You can kind of barely see it. Maybe I can pause, well, not pause my scene view, but I can pause my particle system. There we go. And you can see that the particle is detached from the trail behind it. But I've got a nice trick up my sleeve. You could add two different materials, one to the head and then one just to the trail, completely make the head transparent, and then we're just left with the trail. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's just go ahead and duplicate that material. Let's call one laser head, and then we'll just call one laser trail. Our laser head, we want to be completely transparent, so we can take our base map and then just take the alpha transparency and drag it all the way down to 0. With these two materials created, let's keep things nice and organized in our root assets folder. Let's create another folder called materials, and we'll drag those two materials into our materials folder. So GDTV sprites, selecting both of those and dragging into the materials folder. And with our laser game object selected, scrolling all the way back down in our renderer, you'll now see two different materials, one for the head and one for the trail itself. If you actually have the trails module toggled off, that material won't even pop up to give you that option. I'm just going to lock my inspector in the top right using this little lock icon just to make sure that doesn't toggle away in my inspector when I click my materials folder. And then we can just drag this directly in. We've got the laser head for just the base material, and laser trail, we've already got that set up. And now in our scene view, you can see the head of our particle just goes bye-bye. But in our game view, we've got kind of the effect that I was looking for, like a long sort of laser effect. The first thing I'm noticing is my laser is just a bit too slow. Now, this is a bit of a game dev preference from a game design perspective, but I want my lasers to be really snappy. We're going to actually use our cursor to shoot in the direction we want our laser to go. So I'd like to keep my ship and my weapon as responsive as possible. Let's change our speed to say something like 800 and my size to say something like 5, which will also affect the trail. Let's see what that looks like in the game view. Yeah, I think that looks quite nice. And there you go. I think I'm pretty satisfied for now. Now you could play with this as much or as little as you'd like, which will introduce us to this lecture's challenge. Create your own laser. Spend some time tinkering around with your particle systems modules to get the sort of effect you're looking for. Don't spend too much time on it. You could really go down the particle system rabbit hole. Spend at least 5 to 10 minutes around exploring some different module effects to get the effect you're looking for. Pause the video and I'll see you back here in a few moments. Welcome back. I've got my laser looking more or less how I'd like it to operate within my system. The last thing I'd like to talk about is you can see our lasers are just going through not only the terrain, but every other game object in our view. We'd like it to collide with different spaceships and the terrain. So one thing that we can do to start interacting with different physics and game objects in our scene is finding the module called collision. Let's go ahead and toggle this on. So let's change this from planes to world, and there you go. You can immediately see our laser interacting with the terrain, bouncing off. Now, from a game design perspective, this might be one direction you want to go. You could have a wacky bullet hell sort of rail shooter genre. I think something like that would be really cool. For my purposes, I just want it to collide with my terrain and then immediately get destroyed. The way we do that is by setting our lifetime loss ratio, which just goes from 0 to 1 all the way to 1. So that way when it collides with something, the particle just immediately gets destroyed. Now, if you look super closely, you can almost see like a frame or so kind of bouncing off this terrain. There's a couple other settings that we can just slightly adjust so we don't get that effect. I've found that you can use this property right above it called dampen, which is just another fraction from 0 to 1 that's actually going to eliminate the speed of the particle when it hits something. If you change that basically from 0% all the way up to 1, in other words 100%, it's going to also just stop the particle completely, and then visually it doesn't really look like it's bouncing off the wall anymore. And for now, I'm pretty satisfied with how that looks and feels. Let's head over to our game view to give it one nice playthrough, and we'll see how that looks. You can see it properly colliding with the terrain. That looks nice. For now, it's not actually going to collide with this game object spaceship because it doesn't have any colliders attached to that. Don't worry, we'll adjust that later on. But for now, I'm pretty satisfied with how our laser looks and functions. But for now, that's all I wanted to accomplish in this video. I'll see you on the next one.